ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। From 16 onwards, we'll chant till 22. Natyashnatastu yogosti न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा यथा दीपो निवातस्थः गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यतचित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः यत्रो परमते चित्तं निरुद्धं योगसेवया यत्र चैवात्मनात्मानं पश्यन्नात्मनि तुष्ठति सुखमात्यान्तिकं यत्तत् बुद्धिग्राह्यमतीन्द्रियं वेत्ति यत्र न चैवायं स्थितश्चलति तत्त्वतः यल्लब्ध्वा चापरं लाभं मन्यते नाधिकं ततः यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते। having talked about the dhyana phalam. Dhyana phalam. Phalam means what? What kind of dhyana? Vedantic meditation and or what? Nididhyasana rupa meditation. Saguna Brahma upasana for yoga arurukshuhu. Let us not forget that. And for yoga rudha, what is recommended? Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana to remove viparita bhavana. Viparita buddhi, that to remove that, this is talked about. So, I am getting every other commentary except the text, Adi Shankara's commentary. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Idanim yoginah aharadiniyamah uchyate. So, out of great compassion, Bhagavan Krishna is giving further details about the lifestyle of the meditating yogi, the yogi who meditates, because this is the chapter on what? Meditation. There is a reason why the meditation class is before breakfast, 7 to 7:30. It is not from 1 in the afternoon to 1:30, because what will come? Exactly. So, there is a reason for that, and not only when to meditate is important, but what should the lifestyle of the yogi be who is a meditator? What should that person's lifestyle be in 3 respects: eating, sleeping, and then moving around. 4 respects are talked about: eating, sleeping, moving around, and other activities of the organs of action and the sense organs. Where all should the yogi be active? Where all should the yogi have quietude? That is the discussion in this particular section, and the phala for that also is given separately, because if all the phalas are given at the end, nobody will survive. It will be the end of the 6th chapter right there. So, intermittent reinforcement. So, the phala is given after every baby section, so to keep us going. So, now the first verse here is, so first Adi Shankara says, Atha idanim, now what is going to happen? Yoginah, for this meditator. Yogi here means meditator or the contemplative person, depending on where they are. Before knowledge, meditator; after knowledge, contemplation. Aharadi niyamaha uchyate. So, the niyama means rules of being. Rules, prescribed rules by Shastra, what is that? Shruti and Smriti. What is the Smriti? This Bhagavad Gita itself. What else is the Smriti? What else is there? Yoga Sutras. So, all these are given in the Yoga Sutras also. So, aharadi. Ahara includes movement, and then activities of the senses, activities of the karmendriyas, and then sleeping, waking, all that is included here. And then the negation comes: who cannot have yoga, ninda kind of, and then the affirmation comes in the which one? The 17th verse. 16th verse is the negation, 17th verse is the affirmation of these rules. Na ati ashnataha. Ati ashnataha. Ashnataha means the eating person. Eater ityartha. So, for the eating person, what kind of eating person? Ati ashnataha. Ati means what? Too much. For the person who eats too much, in other words, na ati ashnataha yogo bhavati. Yogo asti. So yoga is not possible. Yoga here means uniting oneself with the mantra, uniting oneself with the words of the Shastra to erase and overcome all opposite orientations. Any kind of meditation, contemplation is not possible for the person who eats too much. Now everybody is wondering, what is too much? Don't worry, that will also be defined. In the 18th verse it will be defined. Okay? Or even, no, in the 17th verse itself it will be defined. And so, for now let us just take it. For the one who eats too much, bye-bye meditation, bye-bye contemplation. Okay? You can't say just one day I am eating too much. Only Monday, Wednesday, Friday I am eating too much. Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday and Sunday is off. I am also off. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday I am available for meditation. No, it's a lifestyle. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday what you eat, we'll start talking when? On Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So therefore, you cannot say some days I can eat too much and then it will not affect. On those days it's very simple, I won't do meditation. Usme kya hai? Why are you making such a big deal? Yeah, as it is I am absent. On that day also I will be absent. No problem. It doesn't work like that. It is a committed lifestyle. It's a nishtha. It's a yoga nishtha. It's a lifestyle. Nitaram sthitihi means nishtha, means it should be abided in when? At all times. So, ati ashnataha na yogo asti. Na yogaha nasti. The nakara, the negation is always brought to the in front of the verb to make it very, very clear. But Bhagavad Gita and advanced people in Sanskrit, various poets and all, they can put the na anywhere. But when we are trying to understand, especially in the beginning, the negation should be where? Right next to the verb, right before the verb. Na ati ashnataha tu, whereas yogaha asti. So this meditation is not possible. Then what? The mind goes in the opposite direction. Okay, I'll fast. I'm doing a 15-day fast, no water even. And then, na ekantam anashnataha yogaha asti. We have to do anuvritti of that. You have to bring that here, and then that yogaha asti we have to bring back here to say for the person who is into extremes, extreme fasting. All the time, juice fast, water fast. And there is a new one, which is a very pleasant one, mango fast. 3-day mango fast. Yes. Head to the market, get, 3 kilos of mangoes and eat 1 kilo every day. And after that, take 3 days off. Why? To sit in the bathroom, I suppose. I don't know. I have not done it. I don't know. But there is a mango fast. It is trending. Okay. So Google it and see what to do. So such like that, these kinds of extreme diets are always part of the human condition because of avidya, I suppose. And even in Adi Shankara's time, even in the Bhagavad Gita's time, there were such people. Who were all just skeleton, You could play guitar here, tring, tring, tring. Yeah, because that is how nicely the ribs were available to see. In fact, Lord Mahavira tried this. He did that. Even the Buddha tried this because he didn't know. And then there are sculptures and photos of the Buddha. Photos means paintings of the Buddha, pictures of the Buddha with all the skeleton coming out. And then he decided this is not the way, because if you are like that, if there is some extreme diet, keto diet, this diet, macro diet, and not eating at all, or eating very little, once in a while you eat, that is also not conducive for meditation. You sit for meditation, what comes? Fainting comes, and you have to kind of have some smelling salts and kind of wake yourself up. Sleep comes, fainting comes, or if they don't come, thought of food comes all the time. What can I eat and how have I not eaten? What shall I eat next? So avoid both the extremes. Do not eat too much and then do not eat at all. Ekantam anashnataha. Ekantam means completely fasting person, or we can also say by extension we can also say someone who is into some kind of a strange diet which requires very little intake. That also is not conducive for the yoga of meditation. Nacha ati swapnashilasya. Swapnashila means not dreamer. Okay? Swapna here means sleep, euphemism for sleep. Same thing. What was said above for food is also for sleep. So if you have slept in the class, don't go to the room and sleep. Yeah, at that time, watch the class at that time. Okay? So that is the idea. Don't sleep too much. So then nacha ati cha means further, and ati swapnashilasya, then what do we have to bring in here? Yogaha asti. Yogaha nasti. Ati swapnashilasya yogaha nasti. Or na ati swapnashilasya yogaha asti. Either way, the yogaha asti has to be brought in downstairs also. Okay, I'll remain awake. Take one toothpick, break it into half and connect the upper lid with the lower lid, and you say, I'll be like Atma. What is that? Alupta drik, meaning I will not even blink. I will be awake all the time. That also not conducive for meditation. The idea is not about eating, drinking, it is about that, but the lifestyle must have a consistency, which is not there in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, what do people do? Before the weekend, which is when? Tonight. Stay up till 1 a.m. Yes. Binge on the movies, YouTube, whatever else. And if you are from some other country, it is daytime there and nighttime here. You start talking, doing all these things, and then tomorrow crash. Well, it's my time, I can crash. Why? Because it's off. I can do whatever I want. Tomorrow is weekend. So then crash, wake up a few seconds before the lunch bell, and then head to the dining hall, and then what will happen? The rest of the day still goes tired, because from these sleep doctors, there are such people. They had no occupation in the previous yugas. Now in Kali Yuga, they are very well employed. Sleep doctors. They put electrodes on the heart, on the head, and make you sleep in front of them. You sleep and they are watching you sleep and watching all the readings. And they can decide how long you have really slept, how restful the sleep is, because that REM stage is what is the restful sleep, and how is the quality of your sleep. And they will tell you that this off and on, some days sleeping at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, others days sleeping at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, is extremely injurious to the sleep cycle and injurious to the health. Sleep deprivation or bad quality of sleep is linked to many things. It's linked to heart, it's linked to the brain function also. The brain function is very, very important. And the inconsistency in sleep affects the brain function badly, leading to early onset cognitive decline, dementia, etc. And so they have come up with this new word, new phrase, sleep hygiene. 6 TP, sleepasya hygiene. Yeah, sleep hygiene. Yeah. So the hygiene connected to sleep, the hygiene of sleep. And they will tell you, do not have any gadgets in the room that you sleep. And do keep all the gadgets far away. Do not use the phone as the alarm clock also, because you will not be happy. Why? If supposing you wake up, you will also want to see what messages are there, and you will do that. It be just so therefore put the phone off or on silent, put it far away from you. Your sleep area must be free of all kind of gadget related clutter and every other kind of clutter. That area, the bed must be used only to sleep. Don't sit on the bed and work and then go to sleep on top of the laptop. It is not restful. This is all called sleep hygiene. And when the sleep hygiene we forget and it's not there, then what happens is that there is sleep deprivation, and that leads to too much sleep at certain times and too little sleep at other times. And in either case, whether in the case of too much sleep or too little sleep, what is not there? Meditation is not possible. Not at all possible. Meditation is not possible. We will all be like that person who used to come to Pujya Swamiji's meditation. 7:02, the music would start. Breathing music. So like that we should not be. So therefore, nacha ati swapnashilasya. For the person who sleeps too much, there also no meditation can happen, because the pravritti of the person becomes tamasik. Tamasik means sick, that's all, okay? Yeah. So, and then for the person, if you go the other way and say, I am not going to sleep, jagrataha naiva, hey Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, not even for the waking person. All the time the person is awake due to some kind of a some kind of a problem, and usually the problem is the disturbance in what is called the circadian rhythm. Everybody has a rhythm of sleeping and waking, and some people sleep for 10 hours, they need it, like babies, etc. They need 10 hours of sleep. A newborn baby will sleep for 23 hours. 1 hour it is awake. And then after that, what will happen? As one grows older and older and older and older and older and older, the body needs less and less sleep. Even if the body needs sleep, one is not able to sleep too much. So maybe one clocks in 6 or 7 hours, sometimes 5 hours also, whatever is one's rhythm, that much one must sleep. So less than 5 hours is some imbalance. 5 hours or more, ideally between 6 and 8 hours is a good amount of sleep, they say, but then it should be consistent cycles of waking and sleeping. So the circadian rhythm includes how much downtime each body needs. Every body needs a certain amount of recharge time, that is part A of the circadian rhythm, and part B of the circadian rhythm is how much time is waking time and how much time is sleeping time. Now if you get on a plane and go to the United States, what time will it be now? In the middle of the night sometime. And you will be wide awake. What is that called? Jet lag. The jet has already taken you there, you are lagging behind. That is the idea. You are still on India time. So what happens? It takes a couple of days to adjust the time. And how do you adjust? By forcing yourself to remain awake during the new country's time zone, and by sleeping in the new country's time zone, you get adjusted faster. If you just slept whenever you felt like, which was all day long, and then you got up in the evening, and then you kept company with all the owls all night long, then you will never get adjusted. So the adjusting to the jet lag means you force your body to sleep at the time that the country is sleeping, the people in the country are sleeping, and wake up at the time those people are waking up there. That's when you get adjusted to the time zone. So therefore, the sleep doctors are telling in contemporary times, one is completely off this circadian rhythm, and therefore there are not only sleep disturbances but waking disturbances, inability to focus, inability to just be with the thought, that ekagrata which is much needed for meditation is already gone. So just like you get used to the time zone of a different country, you have to get used to your own body time zone called the circadian rhythm. You force yourself to sleep. Yes, you'll kick the covers off, turn this way, turn that way, it doesn't matter. Force yourself to sleep every day at the same time. Force yourself to wake up every day at the same time, and then that makes all the difference. Within a week, your circadian rhythm will be rebooted. It will be rebooted. It needs a reset button, and this is the way to reset the circadian rhythm. And then what? Tuesday comes, don't stay up. Sleep at the same time and then wake up at the same time. You are a killjoy, you are no fun. Bhagavad Gita is no fun. Astu eva. This is not for fun we are reading, this is for the funnest of the funnest of the fun. Fannanamapi fannaha. What is that? Moksha, Atmajnanam. Yeah. Of all the funs, the most fun is what? Atmajnanam. So for that, a few sacrifices in the form of some YouTube videos, etc., late night binging, late night watching, late night partying have to be given up. And so that is what I am not saying, thankfully, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is saying. Okay, so this is what it means. Let us see Bhashya. Na ati ashnatah Atmasammitam Annaparimanam Atitya Ashnatah Atyashnatah Nayogaha Asti. Yeah. So, Atmasammitam. Atmasammitam means what is required. Atma here is Karya Karana, body, assemblage. Whatever is required for the assemblage, in excess of that, atitya, crossing that. Having crossed that, having crossed what? Atma sammitam anna parimanam. Anna parimanam, the measure of food required by the body. The measure of food required by the body. Atma sammitam anna parimanam. Parimana, parima, to measure, ma, to measure. Atitya, atitya means crossing. Ashnataha, for the one who is eating after crossing the limits of whatever is needed for to upkeep the body. And then na yogaha asti, meditation bye bye. Na cha ekantam anashnataha yogaha asti yaduhava atmasammitam annam tadavati tanna hinasti yadbhuyah hinasti tadyat kaniyah na tadavati iti shrutehe. So he says that na ekantam anashnataha. Ashnute means eats. So ashnat is present participle. Ashnataha, sixth case, for the person who is eating. Eating what? Not eating. Nacha ekantam anashnataha, the one who is not eating at all. and who doesn't eat at all. Ekantam means at all. And then yogaha asti. Adi Shankara brings back that to complete the sentence. And then a beautiful quote from Shatapatha Brahmana is given. Shatapatha Brahmana. Yad uhava, means when Atma Sammitam Annam, when the food, hava means havai, indeed when the food is Atma Sammitam Annam, when the Annam is exactly what is required, tat means what? Annam, tat Annam avati. Avati. Who avati? Ashnataha, for the eating person, the avati. So what does it mean? When the food is taken in the requisite amounts, it becomes a source of nourishment for the body. Avati means this rakshati, avati, and then what is that? Pushnati, nourishes. So the food becomes a source of nourishment when it is in proper measure. Atma Sammitam Annam. What is proper measure? Proper for that Atma. Atma here is not Satchidananda Atma, which requires no food. And what kind of Atma? Karyakarana Sanghata Atma. So then when it is taken in proper measure, avati, rakshati, pushnati, poshayati, all these things we can say it nourishes. And then nahinasti, tannahinasti, so does not destroy the person. So tannahinasti does not destroy the person because it is actually helpful, it's not harmful. And then yad bhuyah, and then we have to add tat hinasti. Bhuyah means too much. Again, when it's the opposite, we have to add all that. All that is not said. So bhuyah means when it is too much food, then what happens? It will destroy the person. You eat the food and then the food starts eating into you. It destroys the person, destroys the body, destroys the mind, destroys the person. And then tad yat kaniyaha. Now when it kaniyaha means when it is less. When it is too little, then what happens? Tad na avati. Tad na avati, na tadavati. So it does not protect. It does not help. When it is too little also, it doesn't help. When it is too much also, it destroys the body. This is exactly what Adi Shankara is thinking of when he says Atma Sammitam Parimanam Annam. He is thinking of Shatapatha Brahmana. Same wording is used over there in the Bhashya also. Iti Shrutehe. Then Tasmat Yogi Na Atma Sammitat Annat Adhikam Nyunam Va Ashniyat. So may the yogi not eat either more or less than what? Than what is required by the body. Atma Sammita. Atma Sammitat Annat na what? Na too much or na adhikam and nyunam va. Adhikam too much, nyunam not nunam. Adhikam nyunam means less, neither less nor more. And he is going to conclude, but suddenly he remembers Ayurveda. Who? Adi Shankara. Because in Ayurveda it answers the question, what is the correct amount? If I don't know, then how will I know how much to eat? You say don't eat too much, but how would I know what is too much? So one day what you do is you have to, so first we have to see what Ayurveda says. Ayurveda says half the stomach only must be filled with food. Half the stomach must be filled with food. And then how much is left? Half. Out of that half which is left, 1/4 must be filled with water. And the last 1/4 is for sweet dish, dessert. No, it should be left empty according to Ayurveda. Because remember that this is a top loading washing machine, the stomach. Okay. So then you put the food, but if you stuff the washing machine with all the clothes, then there is no room for movement, agitation. So therefore, half you fill with clothes, 1/4 you fill with water, and then switch on. Then it will nicely go like this, like this. Similarly, the digestive juices and the food mixing together along with the water that one has drunk, there should be space for it to move. If one is filled up to here, then it is not possible. Then you suffer for something called mandagni. Mandagni means the stomach fire is low. The fire has to be tended, kindled. The stomach fire also is kindled. It is not put out. If we put too many things on top of it, just like a small fire, you put 3 huge logs of wood, it will go out. But why did it go out? It's supposed to burn the logs of wood too much all at once. That is the problem. Therefore, you put first small logs of wood. When the fire picks up, then you put a bigger log of wood. That is the common sense here also. But then if I don't know what is a full stomach, how will I know what is half stomach? Now I am even more confused. So therefore, one day, today maybe, sit down and eat till you are up to here. That is full stomach. Let's say that is 15 chapatis and a small hillock of rice. All right. So after you eat that, you can't even move, correct? Then that is full stomach. So what is half stomach? 7.5 chapatis and half a hill of rice. For that person, that is half stomach. So this way we know now what is half stomach, and then we know what is water and how much to this thing. And then the Ayurveda also says there should be at least a 20-minute gap between the eating of the food and the drinking of the water. Not one hand you hold the food and another hand you keep drinking the water, because it liquefies the digestive hormones and juices. So this is what Adi Shankara also tells us. Athava yoginah yoga shastre paripathitat anna parimanat atimatram ashnatah yogah na asti. Yeah, so athava, an alternative interpretation is that yoginah, for this yogi, what is that? Yoga shastre paripathitat, that which is taught by the yoga shastra. Paripathitat, prescribed, diagnosed, given, taught. So, upadishtat, yoga shastre, upadishtat, that which is taught by the yoga shastra. What is that? Anna parimanat atimatram. So, in excess of that, food in excess of that, when somebody takes excess of what? That which is taught by the yoga shastra. He is going to tell what is going to be taught by the yoga shastra. So, food in excess of that will not lead to yoga. Whoever is the eater in excess of what is recommended by yoga shastra, Ayurveda, will also not gain dhyana yoga, will not become a adept meditator or what? Or the nididhyasana, or the nididhyasi, or the contemplative person. So, uktam hi ardham ashanasya Savyanjanasya Tritiyam Udakasya tu Vayo Sancharanartham Chaturtham Avasheshayet Ityadi Parimanam. So he quotes the Yoga Shastra and he says Ardham Ashanasya Savyanjanasya. Vyanjana means all the accoutrements. Ashana here is food, annam. Along with annam, what do you take? Dal and vegetables, that is vyanjana, condiments. Vyanjanaihi saha vartate savyanjanasya. So tasya savyanjanasya, along with all the condiments, and then that should constitute half. Not only food is half and then the condiments another half. No. Okay? No cheating here. And then Tritiyam, the quarter should be filled with what? Udakasyatu. Chaturtham, the fourth quarter, the third quarter is filled with water, the fourth quarter is left avasheshayet. Yeah, avasheshayet means be left free. Why? Vayoho sancharanartham. Vayoho sancharanartham, for the movement of the vayu and the digestive juices. And then in Ayurveda, similar verse exists. Purayet ashanenardham tritiyam udakena tu vayu sancharanarthaya chaturtham avasheshayet. Same thing. It is put a little bit differently, that's all. Half the belly filled with food and all the accoutrements. Third, the one quarter, the third quarter by water, fourth quarter to be left free. Tatha na cha atisvapnashilasya yogo bhavati na evacha atimatram jagratah yogo bhavati cha Arjuna. Yeah. So, hey Arjuna, and the sleep and waking also same thing. Tatha means in the same manner for the oversleeping one and for the undersleeping one. Meditation, a meditative lifestyle for the sake of gaining chitta shuddhi, chitta ekagrata, or for the sake of gaining, for the jnani to have a nishtha in the knowledge, to have an unshakable abidance in the knowledge is not possible. In Adi Shankara's time, smartphones and weekends were absent, and so this whole discussion of sleep hygiene and sleep cycle he doesn't go into, because at that time it was not pertinent. Then comes the very important question. Katham punaha yogo bhavati iti uchyate. So first we are taught what is not yoga. What is not yoga? Eating too much, not yoga. Eating too little, not yoga. Sleeping too much, not yoga. Sleeping too little, not yoga. Then why does it have to be said again? Because we are little bit challenged in the upper story. Because even though we know, we don't act on it. So therefore, for emphasis, it's not that we don't know. We can easily extrapolate. It was already as much said. If it is said, don't eat too much or too little, that means what? Eat the right amount. And so, but why does that have to be said in a separate verse? Because the human being is not very, because of the ragadveshas for food, sleep, etc., one doesn't listen. So it has to be made emphatic. Yukta together. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Nice verse and oft quoted also. So, yukta means adequate. The one who is together is called yukta. How do you become yukta? How do you become adequately put together? By eating adequately, by sleeping adequately, by moving adequately. That is the answer here. So, what does it say? Yukta ahara viharasya. So, ahara is what? Food. Vihara is movement. Tau, what is tau? Ahara viharau niyata parimanau yasya saha. So, one for whom the food and the movement is same. Niyata means disciplined. Same in the sense of disciplined, neither too much nor too little. So, what is the shastra that is there for the the shastra that talks about the food also talks about movement. The same shastra, yoga shastra, and also Ayurveda. Because after food, what must one do? 100 steps you have to take. 100 steps you have to take right after food. Don't say from my room to dining hall is already 100 steps. 50 steps before, 50 steps afterward doesn't count. That's cheating. After the food, you have to take 100 steps. This is what is the movement, and then other movement is also required. And in these days of sedentary sitting in front of a gadget all the time, laptop, this top, that top, phone, etc., we lead very, very sedentary lifestyles. Now new rules are coming. Every 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, that would be too much, 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, get up, walk around your room. Open the door, take fresh air, or if it's possible, open the window, take fresh air, look out at a few other people that are alive and moving, and then come back and sit down. Do this every 30 minutes, whether you are studying, sitting, eating, drinking, whatever you are doing, every 30 minutes throughout the day you get up. They say the sitting is the new smoking. See, before people used to smoke, unaware that that is leading to death, cancer of the lungs and other places. It was a death sentence. Now it is a death sentence to smoke. And they say the new lifestyle is what? Sitting. Sitting is the new smoking. Means what? What used to be harmed by smoking is now harmed by sitting. Sitting is the new smoking. Oh, but I don't smoke. Yeah, but you're sitting. That is that is the new smoking. So therefore, every 30 minutes, get up and take a brisk walk around the room. No, I don't have place in my room. I have dabbas. Okay, in my room. Go outside, walk in the corridor. Walk in the corridor. Walk somewhere. Brisk. Even a 2-minute walk and a 2-minute stretch. 5 minutes you spend up and about, go do a chore, go somewhere, walk to the entrance and come back, do whatever it is. Every 30 minutes this has to be done. This was not a rule before. Why? Prasaktasya pratishedha means only that which is done excessively has to be prohibited, tabooed. Before, nobody was sitting. What would you do? And then in fact our elders will tell us, what are you doing sitting? Get up, do something. So we would, and also nowadays everything is ready-made. Maggi, ready-made, yeah. Just put hot water, that's all it is. And then it is instant food, instant gratification, instant everything. Everything is at the fingertips. You don't have to cook anymore. You either get Piggy, what is Piggy? Swiggy, yes, and ask it to come, Swiggy for me, the piggy, and then after that what? Then you don't have to wash anything, you don't have to wipe anything, you don't have to do anything, you just throw away whatever container in which you ate, finished. Instant gratification. So therefore, the movement is very, very strange. There is no natural movement. Before, it took so much to upkeep the house. There was kandanam, peshanam, marjanam, all these things were there. Sweeping was needed, mopping was needed, and what is that? The grains had to, if you wanted chapati, you don't just go and buy atta ready-made. No such thing. You had to do it at home, or you had to go like this. Certain things, the spices, you went like this, and 2 stones with a little wooden thing, wooden handle, you took, and then the powder, and there was so much cleanup, everything. That itself was upper body workout. And then some other things were lower body workout. You would just get workout. You didn't have to make time to walk. Now you have to make time to walk. And then that lets in some other beast, it lets in. The one is possessed by all these walking and running, one band on the head, I've never figured out why. And then you just run till you drop, you run. That is what, that is ayukta viharaha. Such a person is not yukta viharaha. So the person, so that is inappropriate. To drop down with exhaustion after exercise means you are doing too much. And after exercise, if you don't feel anything at all, you haven't done enough. So a path of moderation is the path of this dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga is a path of moderation. Not going, walking, running and making this. And then sometimes people do this. What is that? Weights. So you take the weights, 2 kilos in one hand, and you walk. And now a new thing, weighted jacket. Yeah. Jacket with stones lined, everywhere, and you wear that sleeveless vest is there. It's called weighted vest. And then you wear it, and then if you manage to get up, you can take a walk in it, because it gives extra resistance. Weighted vest. And then now the latest trend is not walking, rucking. What is rucking? A backpack, a special backpack. All these they make you buy. You can't do it at home. You have to buy, because it will have the correct amount of weights, what you can hold, etc. So there is a weighted backpack called rucksack. And that rucksack you put over just like a backpack, you put over the shoulders and then walk without slouching, without the chest and overextending the chest and the back. And you have to walk. If you can get up from the floor after wearing it, that is. So these are all new trends. All this we never needed. But okay, astu. But then it goes too much the other way. It goes too much the other way, and then there is that treadmill you have to keep, and then people take it to another level. People, instead of walking for 1 hour daily, they walk for 8 hours. How? The treadmill is there, and at the top of the treadmill the desk is there. So walking, you are working, you are taking your office calls, you are walking all day long. And then you drop at the end of the day. So this is all too much. So everything in moderation. And then yukta cheshtasya. So this cheshta is the cheshta means any other kind of movement, because there is a way in which there is a certain bhadrata. Bhadrata means there is a kind of an auspiciousness of presence, especially as one grows spiritually. You don't let your body parts, rent your body parts out as though they belong to somebody else. So no excessive hand movements, leg movements, legs are going here and there, hands are going somewhere. No. Everything is just brought together. That doesn't mean you are like a stiff person. You move. You move the hands, you move the face, You move the neck, you move the head, you move the legs, all right, but it is appropriately done. It is pleasant to look at, not somebody who has no control, no say over the hands and legs. Such a person is called ayukta cheshtaha, otherwise yukta cheshtaha, where with regard to karma. And then what else? Yukta swapna avabodhasya, same thing as before. Yukta swapnaha means what? The one who has adequate sleep. Avabodha doesn't mean atmajnanam here. Avabodha means waking state. Yukta swapna avabodhasya yogaha bhavati. Yogaha bhavati. What kind of yoga it is? Dukkhaha yogo bhavati. Dukkham hanti iti dukkhaha. Short for hanti is ha. So dukkhaha means that which is the killer of sorrow. This kind of a lifestyle is a killer of sorrow. And where is the sorrow coming from? Sorrow comes from a sense of lack. I don't have. One eats too much, one sleeps too much, or one doesn't sleep at all, one doesn't, there is no moderation. Moderation is a key to happiness. Moderation accompanied by Vedanta Shastra is the key to Atmajnanam. Moderation is the sadhana for making one ready for Atmajnanam, and if one is already a jnani, the moderation leads to sukha. The moderation here means the practice here, the nididhyasana includes all the viparita bhavana. There is a shortage of food, I have to eat. That is eating out of habit. That is viparita bhavana. Eating because, or not eating because I am upset. Some people don't eat at all when they are upset. Some people eat too much when they are upset. It depends on the person. So here all this cultivation of the moderation, if one is a jnani, leads to those viparita bhavanas going away. The viparita bhavanas are the ones that are connecting me to some sorrow or the other. So the sorrow drops because this lifestyle is a very, very affirming lifestyle. It's a self-affirming lifestyle in all ways. It's a lifestyle of wellness that should be followed by both the sadhaka and the jnani. So let us read the Bhashya. Yuktahara viharasya ahriyate iti aharaha annam viharanam viharaha padakramah tau yuktau niyata parimanau yasya. So this compound is being vigrahified by Adi Shankara, is being unpacked. So yuktahara viharaha. So tasya. So that means what? Ahara viharau yuktau yasya saha, for whom the food and the movement are balanced, in balance. And so Adi Shankara takes it to another level. First he defines ahara. Ahriyate iti ahara. Ahriyate means that which is taken in, that which is intaked. Intake happens, of which is called ahara. And what is that? Annam, food. And then viharaha, viharanam, movement is called viharaha. And then what kind of movement we may not know. Padakramaha, the steps that you take. Yeah, amazing. Padakrama. Even in those days, steps were important. 100 steps after food. So padakramaha viharaha. Padakrama means steps. So tau means what? Ahara viharau yuktau. Yasya, for whom they are appropriate. Appropriate means what? Niyata parimanau. Not niyata means in balanced measure. Not too much, not too little. Yasya saha yuktahara viharaha tasya, for that person. Tatha, in the same way, yukta cheshtasya. And what is yukta cheshtasya? Yukta, niyata, cheshta yasya, karmasu. Yeah, so for the person who is whose movement, cheshta means movement, yukta, regulated, for the person who has regulated their movements when they approach any action with regard to action, karmasu. With regard to action, where action is concerned, they have regulated the movements, not excess. You see, it's okay when you're a child. So when you're a child and the parents say, happy birthday, here's your present, it's appropriate for the child to run, throw themselves into the arms of the parents, give the parents a hug. But a grown person doing that, little funny, okay? Yeah. Little funny, little childish, one might even say. So therefore, there is a certain bhadrata, auspiciousness in holding the joy within. So the joy is there, but in not giving complete expression, regardless of what the other person is feeling or whatever, without taking that into account, we don't, some people are incapable of holding either the joy or the sorrow. Something small happens, they start wailing at the top of their lungs, even if they are 52 years old, okay? And then something wonderful happens, they start jumping in elation. In the second chapter itself, 4 chapters ago, we were warned of excessive expression of either agony or ecstasy. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva. So like this, we were told. 48, 50, something like that, you know. Huh? 38, okay. Yeah, so 38. So, sukha dukkhe same kritva. Sukha will come, dukkha will come, but your expression or your response to sukha and dukkha talks about, is a statement of your emotional maturity. It doesn't mean that you have to be blank because you're a jnani, you don't feel anything. There is chocolate cake for lunch. No, you can smile, you can laugh even, no problem. You can be delighted because it's in the expressivity itself. There is that humanness is there, and there is a certain godliness also in the expression, because all these expressions are given to us by who? Bhagavan. The ability to laugh, no other jantu has. Only we have the ability to smile and laugh, given to us by Bhagavan. Let us enjoy that. And then the ability to cry, it's a big relief to be able to cry. And in this way again, the women have more of a social sanction to cry than men, because the boy children, even when they are this high, are told, be a man, you are a boy, you must not cry. So like this, the crying is an important form of catharsis. Nothing wrong in crying. But the excessive thing which disturbs oneself, because the more you keep on laughing, the more out of control you feel. The more you keep crying also, same thing. The more out of control you feel. And so anything in excess is bad for the emotions, bad for this. And also as one is growing in the path, there is a certain way in which the expressivity is restrained, is disciplined, because when I give unleashed permission to express myself with regard to happiness and sorrow, then I am unable to regulate, not going completely off the cuff when I am happy, or completely off balanced when one is sad. So to be in the middle is not enough to just mentally be in the middle. Expression wise also, as one grows up, there is less and less need for overt and excessive display of emotions. Same thing you can see. So before marriage, you can see that people are sitting close to one another. They have put their arm around each other. You see this when you are walking. And that's how you know they are not married. Yeah. And then after the marriage, after a little while, what happens? They are grown up. They are okay. Not always falling on top of each other. It's okay to not do that, because there is a certain satiation, there is a certain contentment, there is a certain security. This person is mine. There is a certain feeling like that. So here also, as one grows up, the expressivity is retained a little bit. Why? Because the contentment one grows. Through Karma Yoga, one grows in cheerfulness and contentment, so much so that it doesn't have to be given expression to all the time. And then with Atma Jnanam, this appropriateness is taken to another level. What is that other level? My expression must not disturb anybody else. It goes to the level of ahimsa, non-disturbance. Either too much laughing or too much shouting, too much yelling, too much crying. Nothing should disturb the other person. That is the sankalpa of the jnani. So in that sense, the discipline of the expressivity is also for the loka sangraha, like that, and to also as a role model for everybody else. For the karma yogi, it becomes a marker of growth. The compulsion to just leave oneself completely unrestrained and do whatever one likes, regardless of who is there, what is happening, etc. I remember that there was one woman who saw Pujya Swamiji at a conference. And then she was so excited to see him. She was completely transformed by his talk. Thankfully, she asked me, "Can I go hug him?" I said, "Absolutely not. You may not go hug him." But she could not. She heard me. She understood me, because she had a sad look on her face, but she could not help herself. I didn't think, because she was a professor, so I thought she would be a little more grown up than this. She ran. Everybody was around Pujya Swamiji. He had finished talking. I was a little bit away, giving people the ability to reach to him. And then to my horror, she ran. It was almost surreal, in slow motion, like Hindi movies. She ran, and then she just, 3-4 people were getting some book signed by Pujya Swamiji. She knocked off the pen from his hand and then came to hug him. If she was fast, I was faster. I inserted my body in between her and Pujya Swamiji. So all she got to hug was poor old me. And Swamiji was a little bit flummoxed, because the pen also fell from the hand. His glasses fell off almost till here, and then he had to adjust them. And then he said, "What is happening?" What is going on? And I just told the truth. I said, "Swamiji, she wanted to give you a hug." And he said, no need. Yeah. And then he's so compassionate. He said, "You can hug me with your eyes. You go like this, and that's a hug." He taught her how to hug with the eyes. So beautiful. Such a beautiful thing. And so like this, sometimes people have no control over their expression, but this kind of a adequate expressivity makes one a Mahatma, really, and is very much in the interest of getting ready for this knowledge. Because for the one with adequate expression, then the life itself is free of dukkha. That is, half of moksha is right there. The other half, Tattvamasi, will definitely come. One is ready for that. Dukkha comes because of over expression. Definitely. too much, too fast, and then 1 minute hugging a Swami, second minute, on the floor crying because of something did not go as planned. So like this, this verse is important, oft quoted verse, very important, 17th verse. So then again, the last line we have already seen. Yukta swapna avabodhasya, for the one who gives expression to sleep and wake in a balanced way at all times. Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. This yoga has one avantara phalam. In addition to chitta ekagrata, what happens? Lifts the practitioner, lifts the sadhaka from the doldrums of samsara. We'll see that day after tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.